Dragon Age the Veilguard has been a spectacular failure for EA and BioWare, and over the past couple of weeks, we've seen the media coping over its losses, we've seen them try to damage control, and now we know, of course, that it's bombing on PlayStation Plus, and they can't even give this game away for free, but the internet is brutally mocking BioWare over it. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I tried Dragon Age the Veilguard because I'm a big Dragon Age fan. I was really hoping that, the teasers and trailers, they didn't show the right aspects of the game, right? Me completely coping because I do want games to come out and for them to be good. I don't want every game to come out and fail. I don't want people to be tearing apart our favorite franchises and completely missing the point of characters and their backstories and then redesigning them and modernizing them. Like, these things are all ridiculous, but unfortunately Veilguard was just as bad as I expected it to be, and it was one of the worst titles to release in 2024. I still think that Kill the Justice League was the worst simply because I had a little bit more love and nostalgia for the Arkhamverse versus Dragon Age, but regardless, all terrible. And of course, the news about this terrible game had spread quickly. There were a lot of people before release talking about how terrible the teasers and trailers looked, and then afterwards, of course, there were plenty of content creators who gave this a shot and ended up panning it, and, well, the media has still tried to, damage control and say it's not that bad and people are just ists and phobes, but even when they are giving this game away for free, nobody wants it. So if there was any doubt left that Dragon Age the Veilguard is one of the biggest gaming failures in recent memory, this should put it to rest. 4 months after the launch of Veilguard, Electronic Arts gave this game away for free on PlayStation Plus, hoping to reignite interest in a title that had already been rejected by most of the gaming community. The outcome, absolute disaster. And sure, it's not like they decide overnight to put games onto PlayStation Plus, but I think that they probably had two plans where if the game was a massive success, they weren't going to worry about putting it on other platforms, but if it was really going really bad, they were going to put it onto something like PlayStation Plus to hopefully boost the player numbers and maybe boost interest, but well, if that was the plan, it's not working. Despite being handed out at no cost to millions of subscribers, the Veilguard couldn't even crack the top 10 most played PlayStation games in March, according to True Trophies, which tracks over 3.4 million active PlayStation Network accounts. The game barely reached 15th place in player engagement, and for context, it was actually outperformed by the Cowabunga Collection, a retro collection of decades-old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, a humbling reality for what was supposed to be a major release for one of EA's premier RPG studios. BioWare is a shell of the studio that they once were. They really do not have the talent they once did anymore because they decided to hire activists instead, and look at the product we ended up getting. It is filled with modern day identity politics. You have terms like transgender, non-binary, you have characters' sexualities constantly thrown into your face, and really it's their only personality trait. Like, Tosh has nothing else going for her, he, she, them, I wumbo, you wumbo, he, she, we wumbo. And it's sad because you could have had a cool character who was like really independent and, it took them time to kind of integrate into the bigger party. And then, yeah, sure, maybe like later, if you start romancing them or forming a connection with them, they tell you their sexuality. But it's just kind of thrown in your face even when you do the minimum effort with Tosh, and you can't escape that. And gamers have not really been happy with this title. I mean, if we take a look over at SteamDB, it is sitting at a 1,469 player count, and the all-time peak at launch was 89,414, which you might be saying to yourself, hey, it's nearly 100,000 people. That's not too shabby, but it's EA and BioWare, legendary studio within the industry, and you also have other games that have launched with spectacular numbers like Monster Hunter Wilds, 1.3 million recently. You had a couple of months before this launch, Black Myth Wukong with 2.4 million. So we're talking about kind of chump change here. And heading on over to X, that is where gamers are brutally mocking BioWare for the fact that it's free on PlayStation Plus and nobody is playing it. Here's one post from the Dragon Age Veilguard subreddit. It says, if the world can't see how beautiful they are, it's the world's loss. This has got to be a joke, right? I understand beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but sometimes ugly is just fucking ugly. We need to accept that fact. Veilguard fails to take off even on PlayStation Plus, and no one's surprised. A lackluster launch, uninspired gameplay, and overall meh vibe will do that. Tossing it onto PS Plus isn't magic. It's not going to make up for a game nobody was asking for in the first place, which is totally true. Sometimes you can give games away for free and it will boost the player count because there's plenty of people who thought to themselves, oh, I've wanted to play this. I hadn't gotten around to purchasing it. This is a perfect opportunity to give it a shot, but it completely trashes the existing Dragon Age franchise. It's a young adult, almost modernized version of Dragon Age, and yeah, it has uninspired gameplay. It's just got a very meh vibe to it. Pirate Nation had posted a thread on this. And then, of course, the meme, so I'm unemployed. And that really is just only the tip of the meme iceberg that is in this comment section. Turtles and Sonic will do this month. Yeah, they are significantly better games than Veilguard. Wokies encroach on your hobbies to uglify and distort and shove their daily real-life struggles or disorders and sell it by mistaking this as a success. That's trash-tier narcissistic attitude. I mean, you get to do a barv as well. When you can't even give away your product, it's proof that it positively sucks. Played it for 4 hours, extremely poor writing, boring game style, slightly entertaining fights, great graphics, dumb cartoony faces, and dialogue 100% written by an HR team. I did stream a full playthrough of it, and I truly hated this game. I still think that titles like Kill the Justice League are worse and Dustborn's worse, but it's a very slim margin, and I highly recommend you don't play Veilguard. Obviously, if you have PlayStation Plus and you want to put it in your library, go for it. Like, it's free, but I would highly recommend you just don't waste your time with it, especially if you're a Dragon Age fan, because you're going to be pretty heartbroken at just some of the decisions that they made and the sheer disrespect they showed to the source material. People are comparing it even to games like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which has more ratings and a technically higher rating, and Veilguard was put onto PlayStation Plus only 4 months after release, and even something like Kill the Justice League, which went abysmally for Rocksteady and Warner Brothers Games, was put on PS Plus a year later, so it was a very quick turnaround too. I wonder why, and then it's Tosh sitting at the table going, so actually, I'm non-binary. I guess we don't want to play a trans fantasy game. This is ridiculous. They can't even give it away. That's hysterical and well-deserved. Rip Dragon Age of old. Get woke, go bro. The top charts. Jason Schreier must be cringing to himself right now. The fact that this will forever be one of the defining moments and images that people have of him, of trying to own the chuds with Dragon Age the Veilguard and watching it be a total and complete failure. So, of course, I'll be keeping my eye on Veilguard. I don't think that there's going to be much more to talk about it because it's come out on PlayStation Plus, it's failed, release came and went, they're not doing any DLC or updates anymore, but only time will tell. Though for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.